Hi guys, and welcome back to another screencast brought to you by buildawordpressblog.com, the site that teaches you how to build a WordPress blog or website. When we left off last time, we were looking at the WordPress backend. You had just set up your blog, and we were showing you guys around what WordPress looks like on the backend. We'd cover the first top half of this control panel over here. In this video, we're going to cover what these mean. Now, these settings are actually pretty intense. There's a lot of stuff going on here, so we're going to give you kind of a broad overview and let you play with it yourself. It's also worth noting that as you install different themes, these menus will take on slightly different meanings and different importances for you. So let's just jump right to it. You can see it's been a while since I've logged in, and actually I've got two updates ready to install. That's indicated here by this number 2 and also this guy right here, number 2. If I click on this, what will happen with WordPress is from time to time your plugins will have newer versions of the software released. And you can see them here, Askimit, which is an ad blocker software. It's going to block spam and all that stuff pretty much automatically. And then Jetpack has also been updated. So I'll just select them both and update real quick while we're at it. It should automatically do that. And there we go, success. Show details. I'm going to skip over that. Okay, so if I click on dashboard again, those updates have disappeared. Okay, so let's go over to this control panel over here. And where we left off last time was with appearance. Now, by hovering over any of these, you can see that submenu pop out. When I click on it, that submenu falls down here. You can see when I click on appearance that my theme, my current theme is 2012. That's the stock one that came with it. As you guys install themes, this menu is where that's going to show up. So if I were to install Pinboard, which I have on buildawordpressblog.com, that's where that theme lives. Once you install a theme, you pretty much don't need to mess with this menu. You can get to it later on. The next thing I want to look at are widgets. Widgets are the things that occupy the sidebar over here, and there are a number of handy tools that you can drop in. You can see that you can post an archives widget on any of these areas. That would be any old posts that you had. It'll break them up by month or by year. You can post a calendar of upcoming events, categories drop-down menu. I've got several on buildawordpressblog.com. You might have seen motivation or how to blog. That could go over there. Custom menu, and I'll let you rifle through these, but you can adjust your widgets or drop in your widgets by choosing where you want them to go and just kind of pulling them over, and they'll occupy your sidebar. Very cool. All right, when I click on menus, you can do a custom menu here, and there's some things you can change on this. As you drop in a plugin, this menu, the menus will change. Tongue twister. The header submenu refers to your header over on the website. And if I just go to the directorsnotes.com, if I just load that up, your header is actually going to be right here. Sometimes it comes with an image or a menu bar or some kind of navigation on the side here, a search field, whatever that might be. Your header is controlled on this page, and you can typically insert an image for that header. We're not going to do that right now, but that's where you control that. If I click on background here, background refers to what's going on over here in this gray area surrounding my web page. You can actually insert images for those and tile them so they repeat. If you're going to do that, try to get an image that tiles seamlessly. And what I mean is, if you have a picture that's blue in this corner and red in this corner and it tiles, you're going to see that harsh contrast between the tiles. It'll be very visible. So unless you intentionally mean to do that, I would stay away from it because it looks pretty janky. Moving right along here, if we go to the editor, this is for advanced users. I'm not going to touch this, but this is where you can adjust your CSS and actually make modifications to it. Advanced users, you're going to love this. You'll probably spend some time there. Moving right along, let's click on plugins real quick, and you can see some of the ones that I have installed here. Now, when I go to buildawordpressblog.com, I have roughly 30 plugins dropped into my site to do various things, like share to social media instantly when I make a post, or to give me Google Analytics in my dashboard. This is where you can see your installed plugins. You can also add new, and what's really cool when you click on this is they give you some suggestions down here that you can click on, or you can search for something. So if you wanted to know about SEO, what plugins exist for SEO, I'll just punch that in, and voila, it gives you a description and things that you can install. Most of these, if not all of these, are going to be free. Most of them will be free, And if they're not free, typically they come with some basic version, and then you can install a premium version that's paid. Moving right along, the plugins editor. I'm not going to touch this. Again, you guys, you advanced users out there, you might love it. I don't. Let's go over to users real quick and drop down that submenu by clicking on it. Here now it appears under our users tab. This is for if you have multiple users. Now on buildawordpressblog.com, there's me, there's Blake, and there's Ray. And we each need a profile so that when we post, it can be attributed to us. You can also create a small profile for yourself there. And if you wanted to add new, you could click on this menu here and create another one. It's very, very simple stuff. And just under that, your profile, you can have your color scheme in the background here changed. Play with other things here. So it's a pretty handy tool. Going to tools, I haven't had to cover this yet. I have not run into any reason to use tools just yet. Sometimes plugins will have tools for you, but I haven't really had to mess with this menu. If you guys find out what it is, please leave it in the comments. If you have any suggestions on how to utilize this menu, again, leave it in the comments. Would love it. And finally, we've got settings. We'll just drop that down. So you can see here some information around this. There's settings for writing. And as you look through these, you can play with them a little bit more. Plugins will also have settings. Some select plugins will. There are settings for reading, and these are all just little customization type things. You know, discussion, you can mess with your comments field, media, what have you. There are defaults for thumbnails and things like that, and permalinks down on the bottom. And that's pretty much that. So guys, that kind of covers the second half of the WordPress backend down here. Again, these are going to change as you drop in your own themes, just a little bit. They're going to change as you drop in plugins, but that's sort of the nuts and bolts. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comments below. Leave them on our YouTube comments. Feel free to share this, like this page. But again, that's a broad overview of the second half of the WordPress backend. Thanks for watching, and happy blogging.